Alright, double feature tonight. Woohoo. Gonna be a long night.
Yep.
At least none of them are Daddy's Home or Point Break. That's probably gonna be tomorrow.
Good luck!
I'll call Matt. Hey, Matt. You busy? Want to see Point Break? I actually do want to see that movie. It's okay, like, we got nothing coming out till, like, the 8th, so we got time to catch up on shit, thank God.
Yeah.
Anywho, welcome to, I'm sure it's, like, one of the 2 last videos of the year, which is weird thinking about. Mm-hmm. And I just realized I lost my phone case in the theater, but that's okay. Yeah. Anywho, so we were talking about a movie that... Did this just go wide release, or has it been wide release for a while?
It went. I think it just went wide release this past week, on the 23rd or the 25th.
I thought so, because I know it was in theaters for a while a few weeks ago, but then it's now just came back. It was like,
yeah,
said it was a new release on Rotten Tomatoes. I thought it was kind of weird. I was like, okay, whatever. So yeah, The Big Short. This is I guess this is a sequel to The Wolf of Wall Street.
Based on one of the things I heard of that movie, that sounds about right.
You didn't see Wolf of Wall Street?
Not yet. I really need to.
Yeah, the problem is, like,
it's a 3-hour movie.
It is a 3-hour movie. It's an exhausting movie. Yeah. And kind of like Wolf of Wall Street, I'm not quite sure how I feel about this one either.
Yeah.
The third act is fantastic. Like, that's about the kind of one. Other than that, like, I have a hard time talking about this movie, because first off, it involves a lot of jargon that I have to really wrap my head around.
Which is one of the points that this movie tries to make.
No, absolutely. And it's a good point. Like, I will say, like, I'm not a huge Adam Mckay fan as a director, because, you know, I feel that's been Anchorman. And, well,
for me, it's like every movie that he's done except for, I think, the other guys. Mm-hmm. And to a lesser extent, Ant-Man.
Well, yeah, we talked about that before.
Yeah.
We were talking about that before when we started.
Like, those being the only 2 works of his that I can say were good / decent.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, like, so I don't know, he's kind of a hit-and-miss director, and I guess a lot of tricks of the movie that I did not like and kind of bothered me, and we'll talk about those, but overall, it's clear he did his homework going into this movie.
Yeah.
And it's clear, like, it's, at least, it seems like he knows what he's talking about a good chunk of the time. It's one of those movies, it's like, I don't know how accurate this is to actual events, but aside from the few events they tell me this actually did happen, I'm willing to bet not many, to be completely honest, but...
Wait, not many what?
Not many of, like, the actual events in the movie took place. I'm sure, the information is accurate, but the actual event itself... But.
And that's one of the things that... the reason they did that, obviously, is supposed to feed in the whole point of transparency throughout the film. That was one of the...
Explain.
Yeah. Well, there's a constant thing about the idea of being lied to, and that basically the American people were being duped into making things were, like, either grander or better than they really were. So that was almost like an antithesis to what they say the banks did in terms of, like, the lying and everything. So it's like they're trying to almost feed into the idea that, like, it's like if there was transparency, there probably could have, you know, there could have been some salvation for the people.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying there. I don't know, it's like one of those things, it's a lot of the movie, especially in the first 2 acts, it feels like Adam Mckay desperately trying to make a topic that is dry and boring as shit, because that's the way it's designed, interesting and relevant. And for the most part, succeeds.
Yeah.
With a few obnoxious little narrative tricks that bug the crap out of me. And you're right across the board, you gotta say, the acting across the board is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, everyone did a phenomenal job. Ryan Gosling is unrecognizable. Steve Carell.
Well, I think Ryan Gosling, just because they dyed his hair.
No, because he's acting completely different than he has in any of the movie I've seen him in.
Yeah, he's got much more... I was being a little facetious. But really, it's like, the fact that he's not blonde / light brown, it's just really weird.
No, because he's not doing the Ryan Gosling stare.
He's actually lively. Like,
I know.
Really,
like,
really
he's
lively.
He's not doing the Ryan Gosling thing. We're just like...
Yeah.
It's like his face doesn't change for 2 hours. Like, that's one reason I'm not a big fan of Drive, is because he did that for a good chunk of that movie, and that drove me crazy. Whereas, like, I can't tell if his acting is subtle or lazy.
Okay, that I can actually explain to a nice little film theory about that thing.
Well, go into
something
that
called
later.
something called the Kuleshov effect.
We're on a timeline here.
Yeah,
We got on the movie in like 40 minutes, so we can't talk too much about this. It's just fine. We kind of been overindulging our movie review runtimes lately, anyway.
Yeah. Back to basics.
Yeah, exactly. Like our fucking Star Wars review was like an hour and 20 minutes.
Well, that was a 5-man review.
True. I know, it makes perfect sense. Out on the Chipmunks the following day was also like 47, but
and that got so many views.
It's still getting reviews. Like,
I know.
The views like 300.
I was just like, Damn!
Oh, of course, I yell at Patrick for an hour. What's that like?
All right, back to the review.
Anyway, so yeah. No, like, acting across the board is fantastic. There are, like, one major gripe I'll say about this movie is two major gripes, is it's kind of a couple narrative tricks that, one, I'm usually okay with fourth wall breaking, but here it felt particularly obnoxious.
I liked it. I was fine with it for the most part.
And it kind of leads into my second major gripe of the movie, is the fact that, and this is, I don't know much about the actual banking culture or any people behind that, but it doesn't help I saw Spotlight earlier today, which did a similar thing much, much better than this movie did, is the fact that everyone on the opposing side is portrayed as bros. And that got on my nerves in a big way. And I'm not saying they're not like that, because the fact is, I don't know.
Because I think it was that whole new age banking culture thing.
But like the problem is though, it's like even when, like, they're not really portrayed as real people though. They're portrayed as bros. Like, dude, bro, we're so rich, bro. We got all like kinds of cool things, bro, because we made the system, bro. You get me, bro? And it's meant to be that extreme other side, so you get more angry at the rational people judging about this. It's a narrative trick. And again, I don't know if that's the accurate portrayal of these people, but I just know from the movie perspective, it feels like a cheap trick to get you more angry.
It's one of those things you're like, after I've been told about like the whole PC thing in South Park, that actually isn't a really far stretch.
I'm sure it's not, but
but I understand what you mean. It's like, whether or not it's real, it felt
like a trick.
Yeah, it felt synthetic.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, because we can make really complex jokes about synthetic CBS. CDOs. I was like, fucking hell, that's so much terminology to keep track of. And God bless them, they're trying to explain as much of this shit as possible.
Yeah. It's like, it kind of reminded me of Inception, how much they were doing as things went on.
Yeah, and like... And yet they still take their time. They still took their time to strangely illustrate a ball joke.
Oh, yes.
It's like, I don't know why you needed that, because it's an Adam Mckay movie, I guess. That at some point you gotta bring up balls.
I don't know, but
this one Carrie came with a carefully lined up diagram in the middle of fucking nowhere. It's like, why are we talking about this right now? We're a banking company, for God's sake. But now we're bringing it up again.
Huh?
We never get resolution to that ball subplot.
Yeah.
Disappointing. But anywho, this is a hard movie to talk about because there's just so much goes on. Yeah.
It is a look at the inner workings of, you know, what caused basically a step, almost like a layering of financial breakdowns, and basically how mainly on the, at first it's the housing market, and how that results in basically collapsing almost the entire world economy. And it's just, it's like they do talk about so much. It's hard. All I know is that it, as we mentioned, it really riles up the blood. Like,
it does. Well, like,
at the end of the movie, I was just like, it's like I could just kind of feel the fumes.
Well, here's the thing about this movie, and it pays off in the third act. And that's why I like the third act the best, is because I feel like that's kind of where everything I was kind of hoping this movie would be kind of accumulates. Yeah. Because up to that point, it's a lot of bank talk. It's a lot of okay, here's where the system's fucking up, and here's where it's eventually going to lead. And it kind of feels like it's spinning its wheels a little bit at times. Like it kind of becomes redundant with a lot of different characters, a lot of different subplots, a lot of different terminology and lingo, and blah 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 blah. There's just a lot of shit information thrown at you at once. While I was trying to keep it tongue in cheek, doing like kind of the obnoxious fourth wall breaking, involving a lot of talk from the bros. But when the third act comes along, that's when the actual housing market collapse occurs. And that's when I think things got interesting, because you actually get to see the consequences of these, the realistic consequences of everything that they've explained up to this point. And I think that's the movie as the most powerful, because people who are betting against the housing market, which is basically the entire plot of the movie, are still shaken by what's going on, and they're still like visibly like, okay, this is really fucked up. And I think that's when the movie's at its strongest, is when it's dealing with that aftermath, and how they still profit from it. Yeah. But even they feel dirty, almost kind of dirty.
Well, that's the thing. I think the problem was that a lot of the people, didn't they like bow out early and actually lost money? Because they said that the only ones that like succeeded, I think, were Mark Baum and his group, who were played, was played by Steve Carell, and was the Jimmy Vanette, who was played by Gosling.
Yeah, they got they got quite a bit. I don't know,
it's like that. That is one of the main issues that I had Is, as you know, that you said, it's like there's so much going on. It really is hard to keep track of.
Yeah, like you have to watch this like 2 or 3 times. It's like it's a modern day banking Inception. But it's like, wait, what? Who? What? There's a map now? Wait, who knows the map? Why is she in this dream? I don't know. What's going on?
Yeah.
Everything okay there?
Yep.
All right, just making sure. But like I said, I kind of have a hard time about this movie because I can't really go over plot because I don't understand half the plot.
Yeah.
There's just so much that happens, and I guess if you're into banking, you'll love this movie. Or I guess not into banking because you might not like this movie because it's all about how banks are shit.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. If you're into that whole housing market thing, but like another minor problem I have with this movie is I feel like a lot of the big emotional moments of the characters are just kind of glossed over.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Like Steve Carell, his character has this whole big thing about his brother committed suicide, and he doesn't like to talk about it. But when he finally does talk about it, it's such a brief scene, and I feel like it should have had more focus. But instead, it's almost done like in a weird montage.
Yeah, we're kind of going back and forth between like him explaining, then like his wife was that Marissa Tomei? I couldn't tell.
I don't know.
I'd seen her before. It's bugging the crap out of me. But yeah, it's like it was going back and forth.
So I was like, I don't know. This is such a weird hodgepodge of a movie, and there's so many different elements thrown at you. This is so many different ideas, so many different characters, so many different actors, and they all do a great job. But it just, I don't know. I feel like it needed more.
Yeah.
I think it needed to. It's trying to be the Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I got the vibe from it. But granted, I actually liked it better than like Wolf of Wall Street.
Although, the difference. From what I saw, the big difference, at least from what I'm gathering, is the idea of focusing on the on the rise and fall of the man who took advantage of it. Is like that. Basically, that felt like this is more a narrative device to show, basically how the little man got screwed. Because even the big guys don't profit that much, or like the heroes don't really profit in this.
Well, this movie's at its best when it is focusing on the people that get screwed from it, and that's I think is the most powerful, and I think it's when it gets its main point across. And it does explain the banking system well enough that when they have the title cards at the end that explain like basically they're doing the exact same shit over again.
Yeah.
That then it's enough to get your blood boiling. Like hey, I was getting angry too, and I don't usually get angry and stuff like that. But it's like because that's exactly the whole point of the movie is to explain how do they keep doing this shit.
Yeah.
And how they keep getting away with it.
That is the other thing about the other guys I forgot to mention is like that was part of that was like a secondary satire thing because.
You're just trying to get me to watch the other guys.
Well, it is a good movie, but regardless, it's like now that I think about it, there's kind of a recurring thing with Adam Mckay being pissed off at the big banks.
I mean, if we know as much as apparently Adam Mckay does, there's a good reason why.
Yeah.
Because, they just... I don't know how many of them are bros, but... Yeah, they keep doing this shit, and they keep getting away with it, and they're going to cause another collapse probably within another few decades.
Yeah.
And it's going to suck then, too. I don't know. It's an important film. I'd say. I just feel like I need to either take more time with it or really just fuck with the pacing a bit more.
Yeah.
But the ideas were there, and the message is there, and it's a powerful message.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just something about it just isn't quite clicking with me the way I feel like it should be. It's worth watching for the final act. Absolutely alone.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think?
I think. As I said, for me, I think it's a little bit more forgiving, or I'm probably being a little more forgiving, mostly because of the fact that, this whole idea of confusion and whatnot is mostly one of the central problems with it. Because as they constantly show, even the guys who are supposed to get it don't fully get it. Mm-hmm. Or at least they very slowly realize how messed up the entire situation is. Mm-hmm. And this is supposed to be their specialty.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's definitely it's a movie that's designed to rile you up.
Yeah.
In fact, when I was watching, I kind of felt like I was watching a 2-hour movie, a 2-hour episode of Last Week Tonight, pretty much.
Pretty much. Oddly enough, this felt like something Michael Moore would have done in some regards.
Not as a comedy. This is only I could totally see John Oliver doing this. Yeah. In a heartbeat, I could see John Oliver doing something like this. But I don't know about Michael Moore.
Well, just some of the satirical tones, the way he does it, it felt like it. But at the same time, it's like, I was getting kind of why do I feel like I'd see Jon Stewart in the middle of all this too? Because I remember when he talked about that whole thing before too. I remember when he mentioned the one banker. It was either him or Colbert, but it's I remember when they talked about that thing too. Both talked about it. It was just really? That's it? they get the small fry just because he couldn't afford a better lawyer.
Pretty much get slapped on the wrist, and that's all reason. Like, we do live in a broken system, unfortunately. And not just in America, it's global economy is fucked up. Because people can find ways to abuse and they fuck everyone else over in the process.
Yeah.
And we're still trying to figure a way to dig our way out of it. I mean, I think one thing to take away from this movie too, and it's something we're seeing more of with shows like, well, I guess until the new guy in the Daily Show,
Trevor Noah,
hasn't quite found his mark beat yet.
I've been enjoying him, but I do admit it's like, at the same time, I think it's mostly just because we really, really miss Jon Stewart.
Yeah, well, like, I mean, I don't want to get too much on a tangent about the Today Show, but or Daily Show. Sorry, I always get the names mixed up. But the Daily Show is the fact that I'm not sure Trevor Noah quite knows what to think about politics quite yet.
Yeah.
At least with the know-how that Jon Stewart carried it.
Yeah.
But we're seeing with the shows like The Daily Show and Jon Stewart's run, and like Stephen Colbert's show, and even like Last Week Tonight, I love that show to death because I feel like that draws it. Do you watch that show?
When I can, because I freaking love that one.
It's a great show. Yeah. But it does the same kind of thing where it brings attention to issues we should be paying attention to that a lot of people aren't talking about. And so if a movie like this comes out and it does it well, and it presents its points well, and it get people talking about it, I'm all for it, regardless of my points for it, because it is something we should be talking about. We should be doing more about it than we are. Yeah. Because shit like this is important. Yeah. It affects all of us. So it's like, we should be talking about that. We should be making more movies about this kind of stuff. We should be bringing public awareness to this. So by that alone, I totally recommend the movie just on that basis alone. And it's not a bad movie to boot. Yeah. So you get some good entertainment out of it, and you learn some things that are going to piss you off. And you know what? It should. It should make you mad. Like, it's kind of like Spotlight or we saw earlier this year. Although I'd say the movie's a lot better than
from what I've heard. Yeah,
you really need to go see Spotlight.
I know. I've been wanting to. I'll probably have to rent it off Amazon or something.
And like, I think it's in my top 3 of the year. It might be number 1. I haven't decided yet. But anywho, the same kind of thing though. It's where it's like, okay, this is important. This is what we should be paying attention to, and we're not quite doing well enough. I mean, granted, the Spotlight was about a topic that everyone paid attention to for a long fucking time and actually did something about. God damn it. Yeah. But anywho, what point was I trying to make out of that?
It's good to watch something that gets you angry and more into a topic.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to make. It's like, well, I think I mentioned this actually just yesterday when I reviewed The Hateful Eight, which is like, you know, movies should challenge you. Yeah. They should challenge what you believe. They should challenge what you think about a certain topic. Granted, not to say that all movies should have challenge you. Some mindless fun is okay every now and again. But,
for me, that movie is Kung Pao Under the Fist.
Fair enough. Mine apparently this year was Victor Frankenstein.
Yeah.
But, there was actually one great line in that movie that I forgot to mention in the actual review for it, where Victor Frankenstein yells out to like the religious cop, and he goes, "There is no God, only me!" And like, it's over the top way he could. It was glorious.
That is clearly a reference to one of the old famous lines.
Still, but it's great. Yeah. It's fantastic. Anyway, go see Victor Frankenstein too while you're at it. But anywho, no, like, coming back to that, again, like, this is a movie that is challenging to watch. It does challenge what you know about the banking system, and it challenges you to kind of look more into it. So, like, just on that justification alone, this movie is absolutely worth watching. Yeah. I can't think of all too much else to say about it, because plus we're on a time crunch, so do you...
Other things I did, you know, I will admit, I did like the little cameo appearances as well that they used to try to give analogies to try better explain some of these things.
Yeah, those are fun. Yeah, those are fun.
Yeah, it's like, we know you're not going to get this, so here's Margot Robbie in a bathtub.
Yeah,
just like explaining how it's just like such bizarre imagery, but at the same time, it's like it aids so well. Mm-hmm. Like that whole idea of like, this is what people are doing and getting away with.
It's again trying to draw attention. It's like trying to get your attention on a topic, and it's insanely boring.
Yeah,
but
or also was it the Anthony Bourdain one?
Oh yeah, I thought Selena Gomez was a bit much, but
yeah. Yeah, truthfully, I do think the Anthony Bourdain one was the best one, because that was something that actually was...
Anthony Bourdain, I can see doing this kind of stuff, yeah.
Well, because it was relevant to... Because it was one of those things like, it was relevant both ways. Like, they found a way to make his profession work.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Selena Gomez gambles, which I guess is something she does on weekends, I guess. I don't know.
So, they made their point about, like, how...
No, they did. They did.
Synthetic CDOs came in.
And I think I get it, but I'm still not entirely sure.
That part I got just fine. It's basically the idea of, like... so many people making making side investments that they that really have no odds, that they just kind of like.
And that just goes back into the bro culture, apparently. That, again...
In all fairness, they only showed, like, a couple bros.
They showed plenty of bros. Like, every time they showed anyone related to the prank, he was a total bro. There was a guy at the gun range. There was people in Florida. There was the CBS guy at the table. They were all bros.
No, the CBS one I didn't get that vibe from.
No, I didn't at first, but I did towards the end when he goes, all right, let's compare my value to your value. It's like, he's a total fucking bro.
No, I just got that as a rich D-bag.
But still, I'm putting bros and D-bags in the same camp here.
Okay, just like they budge stupidity and illegal.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, so I'm putting them all in the same group, because, you know, bros are douchebags. It's kind of synonymous.
Yeah.
So, as far as I'm concerned, it counts. It's like, whoa, bro, we don't talk about business. We won't talk about business here, bro. We're a shooting range. It's two terrorists, bro.
Hey, that is an offensive, derogatory term. Hey, you PC, bro?
No way, dude. PC, bro. Yeah, dude. PC, Florida. Yeah.
We should probably close this review down.
Yeah,
what was the only trailer? We only got one trailer.
Yeah,
what was it again?
But we got Hail Caesar. So
that's what it was.
That's a pretty damn good trailer.
Yeah, I think we talked about it before, right?
This is a new trailer. This was longer.
No, this is the first one.
Was it the first one? Yeah. Well, either way, it's like...
Yeah, I cannot wait for that one.
That's Coen Brothers, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm already up. Yeah, that's enough for me to get me in a seat. Although I didn't really care for Inside Llewyn Davis all too much. Huh?
I still need to watch that one, actually.
I think it's not bad, but it's one of the weaker films.
I've been told that thankfully they've only had one bad one, and that was Lady Killers.
Yeah, Lady Killers wasn't very good. But either way, even the lesser stuff is still mediocre. So, or still good. Yeah. I even liked what was that one with Billy Bob Thornton and Scarlett Johansson?
Only Billy Bob Thornton I can remember. Wait, was it The Man Who Knew Too Much or something like that?
Something like that. I forgot the name.
I know which one you're talking about. That was the black and white.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good one.
I like that one. Yeah. Apparently, a lot of people don't like that one. I was like, I thought it was good. I don't know what you're talking about. Fuck off.
Because the only other. Oh wait, no. Sling Blade wasn't Coen Brothers. Never mind.
Slain Blade?
That was another Billy Bob Thornton movie. Oh, times like this. Mm-hmm.
Wait, I know what Slain Blade is, but I was Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Wait, was Slim Bob, was he the main character?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Huh.
Yeah, it's because he gave Grandpa a face with a short haircut.
I did not even recognize him at all. I never would have guessed.
Well, just gonna do the.
Yeah. I'm gonna kill you with it. Yeah, I never would have guessed that. All right. So yeah, probably not one of our more entertaining reviews, but mostly because we're kind of in a rush because we gotta see Joy in 20 minutes.
Yeah, but even then, it's so hard to talk about this movie.
It is. Just, you know what, just go see it and make your own opinion about it. That's kind of it's kind of one of those movies where you really have to see it and form your own thoughts about it.
Or read the book.
Is it a book?
It's based on a book.
I did not know that either.
Yeah. Well, it said in the beginning based on the book, or based on the novel by.
Well, I clearly wasn't paying attention. It's kind of like in The Hateful Eight when I saw, oh hey, Channing Tatum's in the movie. Then I completely forgot about it until like 3 hours in.
I knew he was in it, but it's just because like I was like, wait, Channing Tatum's in this? Is like, then I see the credits, it was like, no, that's got to be a mistake. Then I saw Channing Tatum emailed Quentin Tarantino for a month and a half straight to get that role. I was like, holy shit, they weren't lying.
He was really good in that movie.
Yeah.
And Channing Tatum's in Hail Caesar too. Was like, fuck yeah, Channing Tatum. I never thought I'd say that in my lifetime, but like, he's been like slowly winning me over the past couple years.
He pulled off a McConaughey.
He did. That's true, he did. Like with the 21-22 Jump Street, he's like, okay, I can see him doing comedy.
Because that was when I think he made the turnaround with 21 Jump Street.
Yeah, and then had that. Then he had Magic Mike XXL, which a movie I surprisingly liked more than I thought I would. Yeah. It's like, okay, he's good at comedy, and then
he was also not too bad in Haywire.
I didn't see Haywire.
It's a very straightforward action movie. That's the best way to put it. He was a side character, but it was good.
Yeah, and then he did one other movie and then like with this movie, he's like, okay, fine, he's a good actor. I'll give him credit.
Okay, so
yeah, we gotta go see Hope. Not Hope, Joy. I was close. Yeah. Anyway, so thanks for watching, guys. We got Joy later tonight, and then we got Point Break, Concussion, and Daddy's Home. We got a lot of catching up to do. It's gonna be a hectic couple weeks. So
hopefully I can catch Concussion with you.
Hopefully, I still gotta talk to Ron, find out what his schedule is.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you guys for watching. See you all. Probably like 5 minutes, depending on when I upload these.
Yeah. See ya.
All right, see ya.